Presence is the brand new film that just hit theaters from Neon. The film's directed by acclaimed filmmaker Steven Soderbergh, who's known for directing films like Aaron Brockovich and the original Ocean's trilogy. The film's written by David Koepp, who's known for writing the screenplays of Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, and the 2002 Spider-Man film. In this film, we have a family of four. You have the mom, played by Lucy Liu, her husband, who's played by Chris Sullivan, and their two kids, Chloe, played by Kalina Liang, and Tyler, played by Eddie Madej. They move into a new place, and they realize that they might not be alone in this new place. And also, the gimmick of the movie is that the camera that we are with throughout the entire film, that what we're watching from the perspective of, is the actual entity that is in this house with this main family. The film is an hour and 25 minutes and is rated R. Welcome back to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Stenenberg. We're talking Presence. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie and TV show reviews, out of theater reactions, box office breakdown shows, and movie and monthly rankings. So please consider subscribing and ringing that bell. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on this film? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Where does this rank for you in Soderbergh's filmography? Did the gimmick work for you or not? Or are you waiting for this to come out on streaming? Also, please hit that like button. So I was very excited for this movie. Been watching the trailers for the last couple of months. This film originally premiered at the Sundance Film Festival all the way back a year ago, January of 2024. Neon acquired the rights for the movie, and it finally hit theaters a year after premiering at the film festival circuit. But I was excited for the gimmick of the movie, which again, the camera we are taken from the perspective of the entity for the entire runtime. Soderbergh has been definitely flirting with a lot of different filmmaking ideas over his last couple of films, which have mostly been streaming films like Kimi, Let Them All Talk, The Laundromat, Unsane as well. He definitely goes for a lot of high risk. Not a lot of the times it's the high reward, but I'll tell you this, I had a really good time watching Presence. This is a fascinating, slow build thriller film. I think a lot of people are misquoting that this is a horror film. And yes, it is an entity going on. It's kind of like a supernatural thing going on. But I found this to be more of like a psychological drama thriller than a true horror film. There's not these jump scares. You're not supposed to be like, oh my God, moments of being afraid in your seat or something. This is more supposed to build tension. And with that, Soderbergh and Koepp have built a very much a slow build movie. As I said, the movie is only 85 minutes long with credits. This is a short and tight movie, which we usually don't see anymore. I feel like every movie now is closer to 2.5 hours than it is an hour and a half. And it's refreshing to go into a movie that's even a slow build, but still feels like it's 85-minute runtime. It's tight. It doesn't feel like they left much on the cutting room floor. And the movie, again, with its gimmick, probably couldn't go much longer with it. There are a couple really strong aspects in the movie. The first I want to talk about is the cast. I think the cast is really strong here. Two performances in particular really stood out to me. Chris Sullivan was my favorite character of the whole film. He plays the character of Chris, who is the father of the family, and the heart and soul of the movie is this father-daughter dynamic between Chris and Chloe. Chloe, who's played by Liang in this film, she's also really excellent and is really the center focus of the film. Chloe has been through a lot in her life, and it's led her to kind of being on the outs with her relationship with both her brother and her mom, but her father had continued to stand by her side. And she's been through a lot. Don't want to spoil anything because it's not in the trailers. But her character has gone through a ton mentally, and it seems like she's lost faith in, her mom and her brother have lost faith in her. And the father-daughter dynamic was really powerful in the film. And even though I'm not obviously a daughter, but I'll say this is a very authentic family. I think that's what makes the movie work the most. The four of these people feel like an actual relatable family. The intricacies of it, if it's sometimes the marriage doesn't seem on the same page. The four of them don't seem all on the same page for a lot of the film, all for different reasons. But it just felt relatable and real while we're obviously watching from the perspective of the entity in the movie. But what centered the movie and made the movie have a lot more heart to it than I was expecting was the fact that if you actually do care about this family dynamics, and in particular, two of the characters in particular, and you wanted to see the family either get back on the same page or make sure at least Chloe was in a better position by the end of the film. So Liang and Sullivan in particular gave really strong performances. What's tough too about the performances is that, again, the camera is the entity. So it's really funny to watch the actors kind of play around here because it felt more at times like a play in a good way than a movie. Because again, these actors are trying to play off like they're not on camera. Because again, the camera is the entity. So they can't really look in the camera or even the direction of the camera much throughout the entire film. And it made for a different experience that I wasn't expecting, but really enjoyed. As I said, the gimmick I actually enjoyed more than I didn't enjoy. There's one key element which I wish would have done better, which will get to my negatives, but still, I found the actual idea that we're watching the film from the perspective of the entity to be really fascinating. Didn't distract the movie. I think it only enhanced the movie and brought more intensity to the film than hurting it. So many of these gimmick movies just do not work for me, but this one actually did. And the last like 15, 20 minutes are quite intense. And I was definitely on the edge of my seat for what would happen next. And it definitely felt very unpredictable. I didn't really know what the entity was, how it would show itself, or anything like that. So we were kind of interested to see on what would actually transpire. And I actually think the message of the movie does come through. Now, on a negatives angle, my biggest issue from a filmmaking level with Soderbergh and using the gimmick is at times the movie has a hard time transitioning from scene to scene. And instead of just seamlessly doing it, the movie cuts to black like 15 to 20 times during the movie. It's where like a scene happens, the scene ends, we cut to black, and then new scene starts, we cut out. I felt like there could have been a more creative way from a filmmaking perspective to move seamlessly from scene to scene. It's kind of felt like they were confused because obviously the entity is the camera. So why would the entity ever, take a pause or a timeout? But we go from day to night and day to night all the time. And the way we transition from it is the screen going to black. I do think when the movie sometimes has momentum in the first two acts, it kind of halts because we cut to black and we cut to a completely different either day or time of the day. And I think it definitely halts the momentum of the movie. I'm also all here for slow builds, but I do think the first like 20, 30 minutes are too slow. And I feel like the movie takes a bit too long to even get going into what the central focus of the movie is. It's kind of like light intros, but we don't really learn a lot about the character of Chloe until towards the end of the first act. I think they could have moved that even earlier into the film. So that part, and as I said, I think the movie overall gets really intense, really quick in the last 20 minutes. But I think for an 85-minute movie, I wanted to feel a bit more on the edge of my seat than I actually did for the whole runtime. But overall, this is an original, fresh, psychological thriller that I quite enjoyed. The dynamic of the family, I really enjoyed this movie. So overall, I'm going to give Presence a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm going to go 77% for the new Steven Soderbergh film. What are your thoughts on this film? Let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.